I think it's live now. Let me see. Something else on air. Yeah, it is. Okay.
We are live.
All right. Yeah, we're live. What up, everybody? Thanks for coming over to YouTube. What's up? What's up? People popping in the chat. Hello, hello. Okay, so if you guys were on my Instagram live, then you know that I was going to come on and talk about Lilith and astrology. And Lilith and Pisces. Well, okay, so here's the thing. We only have a little bit. I have a special guest. It is my Astro homegirl, my Astro bestie, Apollonia, and she goes by the Astrology Lady here on all her social media, including her website. Say what up, App.
What up, peeps? How's it going?
So yeah, we are going to be doing a workshop next week on Lilith, and yeah, oh my God, my computer is angled all weird. I have a weird setup. There's a lot of Uranian energy in the air, just messing everything up. So sorry, but yeah, we're going to be doing a workshop, and the workshop is actually free to the public. There's a fee to pay if you would like us to actually take a look at your chart at Lilith stuff in your chart during the workshop. So if you want us to look at that, then that's going to be $40 because it's 2 astrologers looking at your chart. We have limited seats available for that. We have only 7, and I think a couple of them are already taken. So yeah, so we will post the link. I'll post a link in the comments and or the description underneath this video for that. But we just wanted to talk a little bit about Lilith because some people are probably like, what is that? Lilith is an asteroid, and Black Moon Lilith is the asteroid that we look at. There's actually a few different Liliths. There's oscillating Lilith, I don't know, some other Lilith, and then another Lilith.
All them other Liliths. I just know about regular schmegular ass Lilith. I don't know about all them other Liliths. Fucking blue Lilith, black. I don't know. Just regular Lilith. Her. That one.
Yeah.
Her.
Same here. Same here. Black Moon Lilith. That's what we work for. So I mean that's what we work with. So yeah. So Black Moon Lilith. She the asteroid is named after Adam's first wife in biblical history. Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she was more of like an independent lady. She knew what she wanted in every part of the marriage and relationship and in life. She was more outspoken apparently. So excuse me, because of that she was like banished from the kingdom of Eden, and then he got a more meek, submissive, whatever you like wife, which was Eve. So Lilith kind of represents that type of energy of being like raw and independent and just not taking any crap. And also for women, Lilith can actually rule feminine health in some ways. So I'm gonna let Apollonia explain that because she's more the expert on that.
Do you think Lilith was a Pisces and maybe Eve was a Virgo?
I don't know, because the way, like from what I've read and the way she's described as being very independent and a little more outspoken and like and raw, you know, like to me that sounds like maybe she a Scorpio or an Aries, like more Mars, a Mars ruled sign, or maybe a Leo, you know, like fire or Mars is what it feels like to me. And that Lilith in the biblical story, that she could have been like, she could have had that energy. And Eve, I feel like, yeah, maybe she was more like a Libra or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like that it would make sense because Libra is like the ultimate Venus energy, like just more about partnership and compromise and all that stuff. So, but wait, Eve ate the apple though. Did Adam advise her against it? I don't remember.
Yeah, so Eve was, trekking along by herself at some point, how the story goes, and she was supposedly deceived by the serpent. And, you know, she was deceived. That's how the story was told to us. Like, she was tricked. She was hoodwinked. Like, oh my gosh, that kind of thing. And because of that, but however, even though she was tricked and deceived, she took the apple back to Adam and, either coerced him to eat it too, or maybe he was just like, damn, maybe he was looking at it like, well, shit, I already lost Lilith. And supposedly Lilith was like the love of his life. If you guys research the lost books of the Bible, like the books of the Bible that were taken out during particular eras of time, in order for people to stay, controlled, and it's all sorts of stories of why the books were taken out and extracted. But if you research the lost books of the Bible, you will find the parts about Lilith. And supposedly Lilith was the love of his life, but Lilith was like, shit, I'm not gonna be just up under you all day. I'm gonna explore and fucking lay in trees and do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm just not about to sit here and just have babies and name animals with you and shit. I got other shit to do. So, the creator didn't kill her or, just banish her back to dirt. She was just released from being his wife. And then Eve was created, which, like April said, was more meek and, followed orders and, but in her plight of being out and exploring, she was then, deceived by the serpent, and she bit the apple, which was the forbidden fruit, and she took it to Adam. Maybe he ate it, however the myth goes. Maybe he ate it because he didn't want her to lose her. Yeah. So there's also stories of it in the lost book of the Bible, how, Adam would still creep out in the garden and smash Eve from time to time. And some of the babies were Lilith and some were Eve's, and it's all types of stories. I was really into Greek mythology as a child, so these type of stories used to like intrigue me so much because I would always see the similarities. Growing up in a Christian family, I would see the similarities between my Greek mythology stories and the biblical stories. So I always knew, even before I was the weirdo known as Apollonia today, I always knew that there was a correlation between these stories and how they connected. So yeah, it was like Greek mythology was just so much more intriguing, but I knew that there was a correlation. But yeah, so Lilith, when it comes to, April wanted me to touch on the feminine body. Lilith definitely rules a woman's vagina, and her feminine sexual health. It could point to that as well. Also pay attention to any, I said I was going to start charting my cycles. Like, what was Lilith doing and how was she hitting other planets when my period came on for the month? Like I said, I was going to start looking at that. A lot of women chart their cycle with the moon, but I think if you integrated Lilith as well, it might give some key significators as well. But every time, so say for example, for me, and I'm going to go more in depth about this during the workshop. So my natal Lilith is in Leo in the 6th house of health. So I'm super, super de-duper anal about my vaginal health. And I'm like a fucking STD phobe. Like, if my coochie twitches wrong, I'm like, what the fuck was that? Oh my God. My God. What the fuck was that? Like that. Like that's how anal I am. Like I get so Virgo when it comes to my Lilith being in the 6th house. So I started to look back to every time Lilith was in Aquarius opposing my natal Lilith. And every single time Lilith was in Aquarius, something happened to my coochie that was not good. Every single time. Now, I'm going to have to go back and look at the squares. So I'm going to have to go back and look to when Lilith was in Taurus. And I'm going to have to go back and look to when Lilith was in Scorpio. But every single time Lilith is in Aquarius, something happens to my pussy. Every time. I've looked. I've pulled the dates. I went back and looked and checked every time. So for example, if you are a woman or a man with Lilith in Virgo, Lilith in Pisces is about to oppose your Lilith. So go back, pull the dates from when Lilith was in Pisces, look and see what was going on with the women in your life that were Lilith in Virgo, what was going on with your body parts, your feminine energy. Look into all of that. So if you want to prepare for this workshop the best, go back and look at the dates and start charting what was happening during that particular time.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually inspired me to do that, to go look back at significant Lilith transits, and I was like blown away, like, wow, they make sense. So just as an example, you guys, so Lilith just left Aquarius, right? And for me personally, Aquarius is my 4th house, which is family. So the last time that Lilith was in Aquarius, my oldest son was a toddler, and I split from his dad, and we were all living together, and so it was like a family splitting up. So I left his dad and we moved out. And this past Lilith in Aquarius transit, I have a different kid, now with a different father, and it was the same thing. His dad and I split, and it was a separation of a family, and I had to move out. Like, we had to move and change our living situation. The living situation each time, they weren't exactly actually, yeah, with my oldest son, when Lilith was Aquarius, the last time I moved back with my parents for a short period of time. And this time, yeah, like I moved in with my mom, and 4th house could be like motherhood and family. So yeah. And when the first time I moved back, it like, I'll tell you some things off air, Apollonia. Yeah. It just came to my mind, like, wow. But yeah, the living situation was uncomfortable. And this time it is hard to get comfortable as well. It has to do with like women getting along in the house. So it's crazy. It's a trip, because Lilith energy also, like, I at least find it like one woman's Lilith energy can repel and women can feel repulsed by it almost. It's hard to get along with women. Like, that's one of the things that I wrote down when I went back to see the times Lilith was any of my signs, whether it's my ascendant, my sun, or moon. And there were issues with me getting along with women that were heavily themed during like Lilith transit in Scorpio example in my 1st house, because women were picking up on Lilith energy from me and just like I don't know, it just, yeah, it made it difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like, again, when we were on IG Live, I mentioned that like Lilith energy, the sign of it can be a love-hate relationship. So again, even to the fellas out there, whether you be heterosexual or homosexual, if you are the guy that mainly projects feminine energy, you would read your Lilith like a woman would. But if you are a masculine man and you're reading your Lilith, that sign of your Lilith, that woman can be your fucking weakness, but she can also be your misery. Like that can be the woman that brings you to your knees. Like it's a extreme love-hate relationship. And even for myself, like I'm Lilith and Leo, and Leo energy women, like I their energy is the hardest for me to stomach at times. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Leo women. I have fun with them. But I gotta take them bitches in doses. Like, no offense to the Leo sisters out there. Love y'all dearly, but I have to take them in doses. But get this, my Lilith is in Leo and my mother is a Leo, and it's an extreme love-hate relationship with my mom. Like it just is what it is. Like I love my mother to death, wouldn't trade her, but it's like when she get on that Leo shit, it's like, girl, you really you really need to fucking calm the fuck down. Like you give them the side eye. So that's that extreme love-hate relationship that I have with Leo women. Not to mention my Mars in Scorpio squares my Leo and Lilith. So I have an extreme love-hate relationship when I see myself acting like a Leo. But again, that's how I express my feminine prowess, via Leo energy. So when my siblings tell me like, "Ugh, you're acting like mom," I always think, "Am I being a Leo bitch? Am I being a Leo bitch? That's probably my Lilith." Like when my siblings check me on that shit. So I always try to think about that, because a lot of times wherever your Lilith is, somebody, you inherited that energy from a feminine source in your family somewhere down the line, and you could be projecting that. Just as much as you can't stand it, it's oozing out of you as well. So pay attention to that. And yeah. See, so it perfect example. I'm Lilith and Leo, and my mom is a Leo. She irks the shit out of me at times. That's my mama. I love her, but she irks the fucking depths of my soul. Just like if I have Leo friends, like love them to death, but when they start doing that Leo shit, it's like, bitch, calm down, because I'm going to thump you. You going to make me thump you. Calm down. It's the truth. But do I notice when I'm doing my Leo shit? Do I notice when I'm being extra doing my Leo shit too? So things that make you say, so yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that stuff makes so much sense. It makes a lot of sense. Um, I have Lilith in Scorpio, and yeah, there's a love hate with me and Scorpio women. I do tend to, yeah, because I'm not really around a lot of Scorpio women in person very much, actually. I think whenever I was around them in work environments, I didn't get along with them. It was mostly Scorpio moons. I worked with 3 different Scorpio moons, and no, 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 no.
Wow.
I couldn't. Like they were just too much. Like yeah, they were just too much for me. And I'm just like, I'm a Scorpio too, so I understand to an extent, but at the same time, they did some really irritating stuff. So nah.
Now, get this. Your Lilith being in the first house, how are you with Aries women?
Uh
You zoned out. Like I see your avatar. She must really not dig Aries chicks. I hope she pops back up. You froze, April. Oh, wow. I don't know how to tell her that she froze. And I can't see everybody's comments either. I might have to get on my laptop and look. But hello to the world. My nails hurt. I just got them done today. Fresh nails and they hurt. Oh shit, she popped out. So I guess she'll come back in a second. It would be nice if I could see the comments, then I can converse with everybody. Let me see if I could go over here to the computer. Let me get up off the couch. My phone is on 2%. So you know what I'm gonna do? I ran out of wine, guys. So I had a little bitty schmidget, like it was like this much. I had like that much of Grey Goose in the fucking pantry. That was all I fucking had. And it's like, I don't really want any vodka. That's more like Friday or the weekend type shit. And I was like, bitch, just have the Grey Goose because it's like just that much. So I just poured it in here with some pineapple juice just to like take the edge off and just calm my nerves just a tad because I had been working on astrology work and stuff since I got home from work. And yeah, so still in the midst of trying to find me a date for the weekend. That hasn't happened. Something in my eye. That hasn't happened. What else is happening? I'm swamped at work. Like work shit is really crazy. I think I told you guys too that I don't know if I've told April subscribers, but most of my subscribers know that I work in addictions medicine, so that shit can be really like depressing at times, but it's like really like I don't know, you get it. But is April back? Does that sound mean she's back?
Yes, I am
Okay.
back.
I was talking to everybody while I was waiting for you to get back. But I can't see comments or anything, so I was just ad-libbing in my Appleistic way.
Well, thank you so much for holding it down. Unfortunately, my computer has a virus, and it always shuts the internet down right in the middle of stuff. So I've lost a lot of like work that way, and it's just so ridiculous. It's just so stupid. I know I have to.
So I want everybody to put in the chat, has Mercury conjunct Uranus felt very Mercury retrograde-ish to you guys? It's been feeling very retrograde-ish. Like I was driving home from work day before yesterday. First of all, I've been cussing everybody and their mama out on the road. Like road rage up to here because hoes is doing stupid shit in these streets. Like driving is crazy right now with Mercury conjunct Uranus. Motherfuckers are trying to catch lights, damn near about to kill theyself to catch a light. Like I myself am definitely a running a yellow light bitch. That's me. But a bitch ain't gonna kill herself to do it. Like I'm sure it's enough space. Like I'm not like fucking, you know what I'm saying? So I seen a terrible, terrible accident yesterday driving home, and I got to work this morning, and the lady who shares an office with me like part-time, she's a Gemini, and if you notice sitting around mercurial people, Geminis and Virgos, their favorite fucking starter of a conversation, did you hear the news? Did you hear? Did you see that on the news? Like, no, I don't give a fuck about the news. But I know you're gonna tell me some sad, depressing shit anyway. So go for it. Just fucking go for it. So she's like, yeah, it was a fatality on highway such and such. And I was like, oh shit. Uh, this piece of news I might care about because I was driving home that way. And she had it pulled up on her computer, and I was like, oh my God, that's the same accident I saw. The truck was like fucking wrapped around the tree. And the news article was saying like the guy driving the car was like a 74-year-old man, and that he was driving relatively slow, but it was a black Nissan Sentra kind of driving erratically to get around him, and they drove him off the road kind of. He hit the fucking metal ass sign, the exit sign. He hit that bitch, knocked it down, and kept going and slammed into a tree. And like the front of his truck was like wrapped around a tree kind of. He died, guys. So this Nissan Sentra kept driving. So they had the tag number and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, that person that ran him off the road probably didn't even think or realize that they had just run somebody off the road to die. They probably thought they were just getting over and honking their horn and switching lanes. But Mercury and Uranus, it's that kind of shit happening. So be very careful, guys. I've been being very careful, been trying to, look and pay attention. My sister's baby dad, he was in a car accident. Like, it's just be careful, guys, because it's just crazy. I can't wait until Mercury just gets the fuck up off of Uranus. I can't wait. Because Uranus is having fun with Mercury. He's having fucking fun, and it's like fucking up people's lives. So yeah.
Very true. That's very, very sad to hear about that. I just read something today about a little boy that got like hit by a car when he was walking across the street or something, like some kind of freak accident with that. I'm like, dang, yeah, that's that transit all day. And it's just,
yeah.
So
make sure you get your babies off the school bus. Just watch kids. Watch how you're driving. Watch if you feel yourself moving fast. Like I've been having to stop myself. Like, Apollonia, you're rushing. You're moving too fast. Like, I'm being very impatient. That's very Mercury and Uranus as well. Like, I'm being very impatient. And it's like, oh my God, bitch, make your turn. And it's like, when you're pulling up behind somebody and they're like turning into an entryway and they're making that turn slow as shit, and you like, God damn, just make your turn, bitch. And me trying to rush, and I had to hurry up and slam on brakes earlier because it's like, oh my gosh, I thought they would have been made their turn and they didn't. So just pay attention, guys, and be as safe as you possibly can. Especially if Mercury and Uranus are hitting your third house ruler and your ninth house ruler in any way, because that's your mode of transportation, so pay close attention to that.
Yes, please do. And so yeah, it's that and technological issues out of the blue. But yeah, so jumping back to Lilith. Oh, you asked about you asked me right before my computer just shut down. How am I with Aries women, because I have Lilith in the first house. It's hit or miss. It's either love or hate. It's either I get along with them because of the I don't know, like their fighting spirit, like with both Aries and Scorpio being ruled by Mars, and I also have Mars conjunct my sun in my chart. I could be very Mars-like too, and they can activate the good part of me with the sun, the good Mars energy in me that can be kind of like tomboyish and kind of vulgar humor and all that stuff. I love that. But once again, it's usually in work environments. I can't deal with Aries people. I can't. I can't deal with them. Like Aries women. We're talking about the women. I can't deal with them. I had an Aries moon, a couple of Aries in the work environment. They just like I've told you guys before, like in other live streams, like, because this woman irked me to the core. Like, I always end up bringing her up when I talk about Aries women, Aries people. She would bang her fists on her desk every single day at work.
I
She was on
remember
the
that
phone, like a cave woman, bam, 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 and I would just get startled, and I'd have to get up and walk off and go curse in the restroom. Or I finally made a friend there, and I would walk over to her desk, and I would be like, she's doing it again, man. She's doing it again. And I'd have to do a Boys in the Hood, like, God, like, why is she doing this every day?
I remember this bitch vividly because April, oh my gosh. It just stuns me how long me and April have been friends, because I remember vividly when April was working at this spot and she used to be like, this fucking Aries chick, man. Like, she would be on a roll doing her work, you know, making my way downtown, walking fast, like just fucking making her way, doing her work. And the next thing she knows, boom, bang, bing. And it's like, it's an Aries some fucking where trying to let out their frustrations.
Yep.
Knocking everybody off their square. Okay, so get this. Lilith for April is in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. So her Lilith is doing the bidding of Pluto and Mars. So if you want to break down your Lilith, which we're going to talk about in the workshop, if you want to break down your Lilith to the core, look at the planetary rulers. So what houses does Pluto and Mars rule for April? So for example, Mars rules her 6th house of work. So she finds this energy extremely bothersome when it comes to work situations. Like she said, she can't fucking work with Aries chicks and she can't work with Scorpio chicks. But they cool peoples, but they get under her skin in workhouse situations. And Mars rules her 6th house of work. So do you see, like, whatever planet rules your Lilith, that's Lilith's helpmate. Like, that's her assistant. Like, I'm here to do what you need me to do in conjunction with what I'm already doing in this person's chart. So with Pluto being her 1st house ruler, she would have to dissect on her own how it does anything for her identity. Now, she has said in the past, like, motherfucking creepos are always looking at me and lurking and shit like that. Like, all in my grill, like, unattractive creepos be like all in her shit like this. She be like, back the fuck up. Just back the fuck up. Right? So,
oh
you know.
My God. That's so true, man. You know what? If only I could, man, if only I was prepared, I would screen share and show you guys a screenshot of this creepy dude that, like, somehow he found me on Snapchat. And you know, Snapchat is like creep city. He found me on Snapchat and he was following me. And then, but I had my messages set to only people that I'm friends with on Snapchat or that I follow on Snapchat could actually message me. And then I was like, you know, I use social media for business. So I was like, maybe I can open my social media, my Snapchat up to the public, right? So people can message me and ask me questions, you know, stuff like that. As soon as I open my Snapchat messages, I see a list, bing, 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 pop up from this dude, like at least a couple of times a month. All it said was, hey. So when I read it, a list of hey, 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 hey. And then I was like, oh my God. And he sent me a picture of himself. It was just this man standing there and it's far away. And he's like, he looks like this, but his eyes are bugged. He has big bug eyes. He's just like Googling into the camera. And I was like, really? And then, so I blocked him. So because I blocked him, he went and found me on Facebook. I got a DM from him that just said, hey, with another picture of him like this with his eyes.
Oh my God.
hey. Yeah. So anyway, that's what. So, yeah, that's what that placement can do is just
You
attract.
see Pluto ruling her Lilith, which is her first house ruler. Pardon me. Her first house ruler. And she attracts the fucking creepos. And more than likely, her Pluto is afflicted somehow, beings that it's usually negative or weirdoed out type of energy. Like, say for example, if your Lilith is ruled by a planet that's positively placed in your chart, then it'll respond differently. So yeah, you know, I am Lilith and Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun, and my sun happens to sit in my 11th, and it's conjunct my Mercury, it's conjunct my Neptune. My sun isn't really badly afflicted. It is square my moon by degree, not by sign. So I notice hiccups with that a little bit, because a lot of times my drive and my ambition, sun, can really conflict with my emotional and my inner doings, which is the moon. But my Capricorn sun will be like, fuck that shit, bitch. We ain't got time to cry. Fuck all that emotional shit. Like, fuck out of here with that. We got other shit to do. And with Mercury and Neptune conjunct my sun, they like, yeah, what she said. Fuck yeah. All that emotional shit. We ain't got time for that. So it's like my sun is like gang with my Mercury and my Neptune, and my moon is just like, well, my niece just won't be mad. So it can be bothersome, but yeah, so we're gonna talk about that a lot more so that you can do it for yourself in your chart. But again, if you would like for me in April to do it for you live during the call, during the workshop, we will be glad to do that, and we will break that Lilith down to the bone gristle, like liquid swords to my Wu-Tang fans out there,
Yes, liquid swords.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a few comments, and then you know what? I'm gonna have to sign out, and if you handle some fourth and fifth house tings, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alonso says, "Clock at the house, girl. Clock at the house." My conspiracy allegedly. So let's see. Nurse Tara asks, which Lilith should we be looking at, mean or true Lilith? Well, we are talking about Black Moon Lilith, the asteroid Black Moon Lilith, the one that has a little symbol of a moon crescent with like a cross and some other little thingy mabobbers.
Not mistaken. Hold on. I can tell you if it's mean or true Lilith. So hold on, because my software has all of those like ancient little placements like that. So you can go on to the next comment, but I'll answer that question for her.
Okay. And why is Lilith so confusing? What is confusing about it, D Breezy? Let us know what your question is. We'll try to get it answered here. If not here, then we'll give the information of our workshop that it's actually going to be free, unless you want us to like look at your chart, then that's not free, but it's going to be free though. But let us know. La 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 la. Aries in the house. Hey, what up, Elizabeth? You're an Aries. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign off in a few. Okay. Gary says, my moon rules my third and second house. You have Lilith in Cancer, Gary. Your moon rules second and third, so maybe your Lilith plays out in those areas of life, I would assume. somehow, maybe like with money or maybe siblings, with it ruling the third house. Is it maybe like siblings? Do you have issues with siblings, or like with getting along with them? Do you have like a love-hate relationship, perhaps? Yeah. Okay. When is the workshop? We are doing it next Thursday, the 16th of Thursday. We'll drop the information below the video. And South Node is conjunct Lilith in Taurus. South Node conjunct Lilith, that can mean in a past life you lived a very Lilith-esque lifestyle. I would think maybe you could have been a prostitute in the previous life, possible like prostitute, some sort of worker in some industry that was taboo. Maybe you were like someone who was like an occult practitioner, like spirit, maybe you could have done like some witchcraft, like worked with, herbs and like witchery stuff.
And what house is that South Node conjunct Lilith? And is that a male or female? Because South Node Lilith, you can definitely be attracting hella karmic past life unions and partners in this lifetime, especially if you're a female. Especially.
Yeah, she has it in Taurus, but she didn't say what house.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely come through to the workshop, because I always find people with South Node aspects to like personal stuff, because it's really hard for them to break free from old habits. Like they're kind of pulled into old habits, things that they should kind of be, ascending from. It's harder for people to bounce into their North Node if they have hella shit weighing them down into the South Node. And it's something as strong as your femininity and your sexuality pulling you into your South Node. That's a tough one. So yeah, I would like to look at your chart for that particular thing. I'm still looking to see. I'm playing with the settings in my stuff but I think it's the mean. I think it's the mean Lilith to the person who asked.
All right. Sorry about that. Children just bum rushing the show here, one of my Virgo kids trying to tell me about a cat. Go figure.
Life, working mommy life.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. You have Lilith with your South Node too, deep breezy. Wow. Yeah, you should definitely come through. Alonso asks, can men also have Lilith energy? Yes, we talked about that on the Instagram live stream, where if you are a more feminine man, yes, your Lilith plays out with how you seduce men. And also, what else did you say, App? Like the relationships that they have with women. It could be either a strong love or hate with whatever sign your Lilith is in. And she said she noticed a correlation between like maybe your mother or female family members and the Lilith energy that you have in your own chart. So yeah, men can have Lilith energy, yeah, especially if you're more feminine. And for men who are masculine and attracted to women, it is the type of woman that just drives them bonkers in a good way.
Yeah. So fellas, Lilith plays a huge part in your life as well. So don't get discouraged or think that the workshop wouldn't be significant for you, because Lilith plays a huge role as well. It's just how it's being expressed. If you happen to be homosexual or bisexual, it could be playing out with how you seduce, what type of man you like to seduce, just like for us women. But if you're a masculine man, it could be the energy of your mothers, your sisters, your grandma. Like, love-hate relationship with that particular sign of woman, or that woman just like drives you crazy kind of thing. Just like really quick story before we hop off. I was on a date recently, and the guy I was out with, he was a Taurus, and he said, you remind me of this girl that I used to date in high school, and I was just so enamored with her. And, you know, we never really dated because she was the chick that everybody wanted. And, you know, so me and her were just friends, but I was in love with her, like silently in love with her. And I always make it a point to, when people say, you remind me of somebody, I always say, what's her sign, or what was her zodiac sign? And more than likely, I always get, she was a Pisces. Sometimes I'll get Cappy. Sometimes I'll get Aquarius, but Pisces, then Aquarius, then Cappy. So he told me, I said, when was her birthday? Do you know? And he was like, nah, matter of fact, let me show you her Facebook page. She died of cancer a couple of years ago. So we went to her Facebook page. Yeah. We went to her Facebook page and we looked, and indeed she was a Pisces. Now, mind you, me being the astrologer that I am, I done already pulled his chart prior to the date, and his Lilith is in Pisces. So I already know, as a woman, this man is very turned on by Pisces women. And on this date, we're sitting at the bar, we're having drinks, just, you know, busting it up. And he just like, he took a step back and he really looked at me and he was like, you remind me of like this chick I was in love with in high school. And I said, oh, wow, you know, when was her birthday? And he said he didn't know. He pulled up her Facebook page. We looked. Her birthday was there. Indeed, she was a Pisces. His Lilith is in Pisces. He's seeing the similarities between me and her. The Pisces, he's picking up on the Pisces energy. So you see how even a person that's not into astrology, doesn't know shit about the cosmos, but they are picking up on the energetic frequency of what is called Pisces. That's what he's doing. He doesn't know he's doing it cognitively, but he's doing it on a soul level. So I always tell people, it doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in astrology. It fucking believes in you. Like, it's all around you. You just can't put a name to it. So yeah. So ladies, if you're looking at a guy's chart, pay attention to where his Lilith is. You might have an upper hand if you have some placements that conjunct his Lilith, you know. But conjunctions are the strongest when it comes to asteroids. So looking at like trines and sextiles and stuff, it could do a little something, but conjunctions are the strongest when it comes to asteroids. Transits, that's different. Like Lilith transiting your shit, you know, transiting stuff is always going to kick up shit. That's what they supposed to do. But when it comes to natal stuff, conjunctions are always the strongest when it comes to asteroids.
Word. Yeah. I had like a relationship with somebody that their south node was like the same degree as my Lilith and same sign, like south node in Scorpio conjunct my Lilith. And yeah, we were pretty crazy about each other. And I did feel like I always had this feeling like, because you know the south node is the past life. I felt like maybe we were some kind of like running buddies or something, involved in something like taboo or illegal in a past life. And as a matter of fact, you know, I've already told App and some of you guys like some of my past life stuff that I know that some of it involves something like illegal activities that have to do with money and all that stuff. And this guy and I, we both worked in banking. That was like the majority of like when we were young. We always had jobs like working in banking and finance, like at banks. And so I don't know. I always had this feeling like you know, maybe we did some naughty, like, Bonnie and Clyde stuff together in a past life or something with that Lilith and South Node thing. And then plus, yeah, like, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Wow. Now, did you feel that karmic connection with him right away, even though you weren't really privy to the information at that time? Like, you felt like he was a kindred spirit with his stuff conjunct your South Node?
Not immediately. Not, it wasn't like, oh, at first sight or anything. It was kind of like, because I'm pretty like, I'm like I'm like this, like, all the time. I try to block people out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then it isn't until I allow myself to open up and then feel someone else's energy and like pick up on it and look at them for real that I'm like, whoa, you know. So at that moment, yes, then it was just like, whoa, okay, yeah, like he was a kindred spirit and we were like stuck together all the time. You know, so yeah, it was one of those things. And same with someone that has North Node conjunct my Lilith.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing.
Anytime somebody shit hits your nodes, your Chiron, it's very karmic. Your Juno, Vesta, like a lot of those asteroids are like, but primarily Chiron, Vertex, your nodes, those are like really karmic situations most of the time.
Yeah, there's some good questions, but man, I really have to dip out. Tara wants to know about Lilith conjunct the moon, and then somebody wants to know about Lilith in synastry. Those are some like really good questions.
For the workshop, come through. We're gonna dig into all of that. Come through, guys, and it's free to the public. We're gonna answer all the questions and stuff like that. But if you want us to dissect your chart up close and personally, definitely just, you know, grab a seat while you can. And me and April we're gonna give you the zhuzh, you know. So yeah, but yeah, all of those questions, please save them. It's gonna be next week Thursday at 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 6 p.m. West Coast. So yeah, I'm excited for it because we don't talk about Lilith enough. And so many people are confused about Lilith. We're going to talk about Lilith through the signs a little bit. We're also going to talk about Lilith through the houses. We're going to give personal examples and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's going to be, you're going to be able to dissect your own chart with what we tell you and, you know, show you some techniques. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So...
Me too, man. I'm hyped. I'm like, I just saw those last two questions. I'm like, those are some really good questions. I'm like, but I gotta go. So yeah, we will save those for the workshop. It is next Thursday, the 16th of May. We will drop the information. We're on live, so I can't really drop any information live, but once this video processes, I will put the links, you know, below the video. So
yeah, bit.ly, it should be working. I just checked not too long ago. It's B as in boy, I, T as in Tom, .ly / Lilith in Pisces. Bit.ly / Lilith in Pisces. And so yeah, we're looking forward to everybody being there and coming through. Come through with all your questions, concerns, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like my Scorpio is like so excited to dive into like this topic.
You know, me and April, we love shit like this.
Yeah. Yeah, the research of it all that you had me do, like go back to see the dates of Lilith transiting certain signs and what went on. Like my jaw dropped. Like wow.
I always say that, like, my hashtag is astrology for real. Like, I want to see it. What's the point of it if I can't watch the shit play out in my own personal life? Like, it's supposed to be a clock. Like you can watch the shit play out and see what's like trending to come ahead. So I'm very much so a real life astrologer, like just trying to chart the patterns of it all. So yeah.
Yeah. Most def. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. And once again, we'll put the info for our Lilith workshop below. So have a good evening, and I'll see you guys. Don't forget to look at your horoscope videos here on my channel, because I've been keeping up with those and I plan on continuing to do so. All right. Peace, everybody.
All right. Night, guys.